All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Gamer Cat. Good morning, Jose. Good morning, Pip Sniper. Good morning, Brandon. Good morning, Ali Reza. Good morning, Jeff. Good morning, Matthew. I still need to learn how to pronounce your name right, so if I say it wrong, forgive me. Um, Good morning, Yugoslav, and good morning, Rowan. So I hope you guys had a good weekend. Good morning, Animesh. Good morning, team. I hope you guys had a good weekend. We're back in here again. Quick update. So we went into the weekend saying we're going to do a 10 pip stop and a 10 pip take profit. And then after reflecting on Friday and Saturday, I was like, you know what? Let me see next week how much the market's moving with the holidays and Christmas coming out. And then I said, you know what? If we try to go into the markets Monday morning, and if we're trying to figure out, if it's not moving a lot, if we're going to be, put a safer stop or if we're going to put a 10 pip stop, if I try to figure it out Monday, ultimately we were probably going to make a rash decision. So what we're going to do is once we clear our liquidity, guys, we're going to basically put a stop loss that respects the pattern. So it could be 3 pips, it could be 5 pips, it could be 20 pips. But basically, once our pattern forms, guys, and this is just a quick update before we jump into the trade. Once our pattern forms, we get the false break and the true break. Just ignore that little piece down there. It's kind of messy. Basically, all we're doing is we're just putting our stop loss right above the pattern. That way, it's like we're trading what the markets are giving us this week. And what one thing that we're gonna do too is basically wherever our stop loss is, we're gonna put our take profit 1-to-1 with it. And I'm going to start recording. I'm going to show you in my journal here in a second. I'm going to look back every day that we take a trade, and we're only taking 1-to-ones. This is going to be considered our safe stop, just right outside 1 pip outside of that range. And then what we're going to be doing too every single day for the next month or so is I'm going to be tracking, did the trade go 1 to 1.5? Did it go 1 to 2? Did it go 1 to 2.5? Did it go 1 to 3? And that way too, we're going to be able to gather some live data. And over the course of time, we're going to see, hey, we're taking 1-to-ones and we're winning all the time, but every single trade we took just went 1 to 2. So it's like, let's start taking 1-to-2s. And that's how we'll work our way up to the higher risk or rewards in 2025. But just wanted to give that quick update out there. Um, so it's going to be a good thing. It's a good adjustment, but we're still trading 1-to-1. Guys, this swing point actually went higher. So if you guys see, this is how the candles are trending still. So this was potentially going to be a point of liquidity. It is not though. And these are really the only 3 points that we're working off right now because ever since price came and made this low, price went higher and higher and higher and higher, and the candles are just tracking higher right now. So we're kind of in this big range of consolidation right now. Price did liquidate, some of the bottom side of the early beginnings of this range. So price could go up, but I think we could potentially get people faked out. Maybe grab buy side, come back down, grab sell side, and then we could potentially just range all day. Honestly, we'll see. We've got some orange folder right now coming out. You see the market's not moving like at all. And then we got some orange folder at 10 a.m. as well. Hopefully that just moves the market enough. We're really going to be patient today though, guys. We're not forcing anything. If there's a setup, there's a setup. If there's not, there's not. We're going to be taking our times with this week. Hey, Lewis. I'm only considering the points as far back as the London kill zone. So everything you see right here in red, this is what we're looking at. These are the only lines that we're considering. I was talking about this being swept early on before our trading hours. You can see that got swept. So right now we've taken sell side liquidity at 2 different points, and then we've taken buy side liquidity at 1 point. Price potentially has more power to go up than down right now, and it's taken this sell side right here. So, but then again, too, price has only been selling off, so we'll have a lot of momentum too if we do make our way to the buy side, and then ultimately we can take price lower if the momentum's going to carry, and then this consolidation would just be sellers catching their breath or whatnot. No, my lot size is going to stay the same on the cash account. I'm using 30 leverage for my account size. So I'm using just 30 leverage and it's going to stay the exact same. On the prop account, it is going to change. I'm going to use 15 leverage. When we were doing a 10 pip stop and a 10 pip take profit, I was using 20 leverage. So that's that being said, every 15 pips on the prop account is about a 2% gain, and that's about all they give us. So um, if it goes like you can make more than 2%, but they say they're gonna take it off your profits. I'll see if they do. I've already done that like once on one trade. Like 2% would be like $1,000, and I made like 1,200 on one trade. So we'll see if they take the 200 bucks away. But I'm not too concerned about it because you know if it's a 1-to-1, usually the moves would stay like between 15 pips or less. Sometimes more though. Sometimes probably like 17, but it'll be all good. Yeah, I could see it going down too. Honestly, I really like if we could take that buy side right there and then go further. That would be a good move today. The London kill zone for me starts at 3:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and goes to 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you think about London, it's the Forex London session starts at 3 a.m. It's a half hour after, and then it's for 2 hours. And this is Eastern Standard Time. For New York currency session, it starts at 8 a.m. So think about it, a half hour after at 8:30, and then it goes for 2 hours, and that's our trading hours. um, yeah. So these orange folders, guys, came out weak for the dollar. So we're seeing euro potentially could have what it needs to come up and grab, um, but it's not going with the fundamentals so far. It's not reacting in line with them yet. No, Ali Reza, we're gonna be doing this. So once buy side liquidity gets swept, I'll just zoom in, or sell side, what we're gonna be doing with the holidays and everything, after some reflection this weekend, I'm way too zoomed in. Um, After some reflection and prayer on how to best navigate this, we're going to basically just put our stop loss right above our formation. That way it's just in line with what the markets are giving us. So if this gives us like a 3 pip stop, then we're not trying to capture a massive move for the day. If it gives us a 5 pip, a 7 pip, 9 pip, we're just going to be going with what the market gives us, and then our take profit is simply going to be 1-to-1 with our stop loss. That way we're trading the markets this week and next week. So it'll be good. We'll be doing just a 1-to-1 risk to reward, and then check this out, guys. Check this out. So you see this journal right here. Let me try to drop it back some so that way it's easier to see. These I'll get rid of the chat later when we actually plug it in. But I'll be able to now did one like for this trade. Did like if we take it 1-to-1 afterwards we'll look back. Did 1 to 1.5 hit? Yes. Did 1 to 2 hit? Yes. And then did 1 to 2.5 hit? No. And then we can start to see live data as we go to see how much our risk to rewards are actually hitting over time. So this is going to be a huge benefit within like a month or so. We'll be able to really track to see just how much the market or how much the market gives us. Because if every single trade we hit goes 1 to 2.5, we're gonna start trading 1 to 2.5. You know what I mean? So we're gonna really get dialed in and really collect some data while we go along with this 1-to-1 because we're collecting great profits. We got funded this month. The funded account is already up 8.37%, and then the cash account's up 36.76% in the last 2 weeks. We're managing about $65,000 in capital right now. So with 1-to-1s, we don't want to change that at all unless we see that, hey, every single trade we're taking is going 1 to 1.5 or 1 to 2.5. That in that case, there's no reason in the world we shouldn't change it and maximize that. But we want to see over the course of some time exactly if it's gonna play out like that. So I'm gonna be taking 1-to-1s probably even all of January, and then probably like February 1st around that time we'll be seeing, okay, all our trades are hitting, a higher risk to reward. Let's start going higher. Yeah, I think so, Josh. I think it'll be good. Yes, Harris, the market is closed this Wednesday and it's closed next Wednesday. So we'll only be streaming Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, Friday this week and next week. Oh, no way, Gamer Cat. What prop firm is that? They close their markets all week. Lewis, let me check out USN. If you're in sells, I mean, buy side liquidity's definitely been taken, but there's a pattern up here. I don't know though. I would see the thing is that you likely would have wanted to wait for because timing is a super important part, and you see buy side liquidity got taken like right here at like 6:30 a.m. You really want buy side to get taken during your trading hours, right, or right at your trading hours. So timing is a super important piece in this. Because if it would have just taken right now and then gave the pattern, it would have been likely to just drop. So you want to make sure you're aligning the pattern in this trading style with time. Super important, super important. But this is, I'm sure it still works in some other areas and whatnot, but timing is just going to make it work better. If you're trading a pair with the US dollar in it, I would trade it during the New York kill zone. Right. Yeah. You'll see some trades too. We've taken it out like right before, like at 8 o'clock. That's still when the New York session's open. So I'm like cool with that. There's a few trades we took like that. Let me see if I can show an example. Like this is an example. This trade took right before. You can see it's like a couple minutes before, but it was still during the New York session. So that's just super important when it comes to the US dollar. It's either like right at 8:30 or just like literally happening while 8:30's forming or coming around. FTP. Oh, okay. I wonder if they'll be closed for New Year's too then. Make sure we're signed in. It's the last thing we want to be signed out of our account on accident. This candle too, guys, is just going higher, so we really are just kind of pushing up higher in this range and making pullbacks. It's just kind of consolidating upwards. So we might just be hanging out for a little bit and talking. Yeah, it might not be a bad thing for you. I wonder why they do that though. They usually try to turn charts off and stuff like during volatile times like the election or even news events. Um, so I wonder why they're doing it during a period of no volatility. Maybe they just want a winter break. It's not gonna hurt you though. I mean, you can see we're sitting in a sideways range here. It's not anything to be too worried about. Okay. Oh, I got you. Cause you passed the account, right? That's what you're saying. So you're trying to get them to upgrade you. They didn't upgrade you already. Okay, that makes sense. I thought you said they turned the markets off. I was like, that's kind of weird. Yeah, so ever since that news has come out, weaker for the dollar, this 15-minute candle's just dropping, so that's kind of strange. We didn't see anything but like probably 1 pip, 2 pips up since that orange folder came out. So I don't really worry about orange folder too much. It just kind of puts some more volume in the market, but doesn't really like rock the market like that. But yeah, if there's no setup too by 10:30, we'll just kind of be done. I mean, we're gonna look for the trade, but we're not gonna force the trade for sure. But what we do, guys, the way we trade, we can still get good setups even in a ranging market because it's all based on liquidity. So if we're just going sideways all day and we can get price to peak out one side or the other, I mean, we're going to get a clean 1-to-1 setup. These might be the days where we don't get higher risk to reward, but we're only going for 1-to-1 anyway, so it might be interesting documenting it for this next 2 weeks just to even see. Um, but the lower risk to reward trades in a ranging consolidating market are always still safe. You could even counter trend in a good way with 1-to-1 risk to reward. Like I'll take counter trend trades all the time with 1-to-1. Um, what's up, all? When you take buy side liquidity, is my line on top of the candle or the bottom? It is on the top. So buy side is on the top, sell side's on the bottom. So it might be a little hard to see. This is BSL and this is SSL down here. So it's at the very high of the candle and this is at the very low. This candle, guys, did print higher, so this is still where we live right now. Honestly, I could just zoom in because let me do that. Right there. Okay. This is our world right now. Peeking at the buy side is going to be the best trade for the day. I think we've identified. And then just taking price shorter. Just capturing a quick move and being done for the day. That's all we want. To try to just add a little bit of profits during this holiday week. That's all we want. We don't want to try to force anything in these markets. But I was going over the different fundamental news coming out, which can be an indication of if we'll see price moving at all. And we've got some good news folders over the next 2 weeks, except I think like New Year's Eve like next Friday or something. I don't, or no, not next Friday. Um, the Friday after New Year's, there's like no folder, but that's after all the holidays and stuff, so it shouldn't be a big deal. It should not be a big deal. Josh, did you end up starting your account already, or are you still waiting until January to start it? And then Jeff, if you're on here, when are you going back to school? Are you going back sooner or later? Because I know you said at some point soon you'll have to be watching the live streams back or won't be able to get on as actively. Hey Michael, we'll be on Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday to see if there's a trade, and if there is one, we're gonna take one. So just 4 days, but that doesn't necessarily mean we'll have four trades. Still wait until January. That's a smart move. Hey, what you're doing too, you're developing that discipline. So you're investing in that emotional bandwidth to be patient and to wait. So it's a good thing, especially with the markets a little bit slower right now. I mean, this entire range, guys, is only 15 pips, which honestly is better than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like just a handful of pips, so it's better than I thought it would be. Hey, good morning, the big tofu. God bless you, brother. It's good to see you in here. It's good to see you in here, guys. We've got a good crowd in here. Like you almost want the crowd to grow, but not grow at the same time, because then it's like the chat would kind of get crazy, and I like kind of where we're at now because it's busy enough to keep engaging and we can keep talking, but at the same time I can look at every single thing someone's putting in. So we've got a good crew on here right now. That's why I'm gonna kind of let it like grow naturally and not try to promote anything, and just kind of keep it with the crew we got right now. And if people come in, the right people will come in, and hopefully the wrong people stay out, and we're able to grow a good, solid foundation. Finally pressing higher after that orange folder came out like that. You know what I could do though, while we wait. All right, we're going higher. Might take buy side soon. Trying to do something with work right now. You guys saw that sharp reaction? It kind of kicked back a little. kick back right before we got up there. I'm sure on the smaller time frame it looks like people like want to sell right now, and it's probably a little bit too early. Okay. Yeah, if you guys notice what we're doing now, we're just kind of waiting for the same trades that we used to get stopped out on to happen and then get in like right after. It's kind of the idea of what we're doing. You just wait for everyone to get stopped out and then you get in right after. And everyone that the move that everyone thought was going to happen did happen, but they just got in early. Oh, UJ's about to sell off? So waiting, yeah. This is a waiting game, but it definitely pays off. Yeah, if you look, this is what I was just talking about. If you look on the smaller time frame right now, people are probably, this is a sharp move that we saw here. This is the 1 minute. People are probably trying to sell off early instead of waiting for it to clear these highs and then for the move to continue downward. Now, I might be wrong, but there's definitely stops right above this candle right here. And I mean, it did on the 1 minute time frame gather some of this liquidity, but if we're looking at the overall range, like there's no reason someone shouldn't wait for that to get cleared before going lower. That's when you have a really good basis for that move. But at the same time too, guys, we want the pattern to form after it clears it. But yeah, I think people are getting faked out right now. Then it's going to go up, and then they're going to be like, we're in an uptrend, and then it's going to reverse, and then it's going to sell off, and they're just going to get stopped out 3 times in a row. And that's just how it goes. And once you can finally see it that way, it opens your eyes, and it's like, now you actually believe that you can make profits consistently week after week. Look at what's happening. That candle that people put their stop losses behind, all those stops are going to get gathered right now. So let's go back here. Hey, Davidas. I've been waiting for you so I can say your name right. It's Davidas, right? I hope that's right, because I practiced. Alright. Taking buy side. Now we're going to look for our pattern. But let me see how these candles are tracking. So yeah, basically when this 15-minute candle closes, it's just tracking higher. So we can leave it down here right now so it doesn't get into the way at all. But it's 8:56. We have officially swept buy side liquidity. Price has just been going higher and higher. This is kind of where we're tracking right now. Let's do the 1 minute. Yes. I was trying to figure out, because you said the word dot, and I was saying the word dot to myself, like dot, 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 Davidas. And I was like, I finally got it. And then I think the day I tried to say it on stream, you weren't here. So it's good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. Quick update, since I think you might have just joined. What we're doing, instead of a set stop loss or whatever, we're doing a safe stop with the markets this week, and we're basically just putting it outside of the pattern. So whatever the market gives us, it could be 4 pips, it could be 10 pips, it could be 17. we're putting it outside of the pattern once the pattern forms, basically the high or low, because if price goes past that point, technically the trade should lose, right? It shouldn't. We don't know if it's going to turn around at that point. It can, it has in, one or two cases, but we don't know for sure. Now, let's track a little bit better right here. These candles all just went higher and higher and higher. So that's kind of what we're looking at right now. Yeah, we don't even need that on. We'll start tracking up here because there's no low until down there. Here's a potential false break. These candles are just going lower right now. This is where we're at. We would put it 1 pip above too, by the way. Let me add something back to our chart. Let's do this. Just make it like that. If the pattern formed in here, we'd just be looking for a stop loss like 1 pip above that price. If it formed in here. Price is still in an uptrend right now. Oh, nice. Hey, that's a good deal. That's a good deal. Especially while you're trying to get like used to maybe some of these concepts and start to develop an eye for them. It gives you probably more of a peace of mind about that. So this is where we're at right now, guys. Price did officially shift upwards, so this would kind of be our false break right now if price wanted to close below there. With all the momentum to the downside though, and then this consolidation here now peaking at the top of it, sells are definitely a good option. We're definitely on the better side, I think, in my opinion. We'll see though. I'm happy it's peaking out of the buy side liquidity instead of the sell side is basically what I mean. This is where we live right now. Get the other chart up, our prop firm chart. Alright, so we could have our false break. Alright guys, we've got our false break. We're going to wait for a pullback and a true break now. So it doesn't look like it's going to happen on this candle because price already went lower. So we're still tracking lower, but you can see we've got our first shift to the downside. It's going to be based on basically the pattern. So it's going to be 1 pip above. Like if the pattern formed right now, it'd be 1 pip above here. So in this case, like if we got in right now, it'd be like a 4 pip stop. We're doing that because we're trying to trade price this week and next week. And whatever the market's giving us, whether it's a lot or a little, we're gonna trade however price is forming because the last thing we want to do is try to capture a larger move than the market's going to be able to give us, and then the trade would have won, but we're trying to go for something different on a week where there's low volatility and holidays, and so we're just trading the markets this week. And honestly, it's going to be, I think, the best thing to do long term. I spent a lot of time reflecting and in prayer about it this weekend. Um, Guys, this is going to be beautiful if this pulls back and then we break through it, because this is a liquidity void with this candle not going lower. Now this is a sharp, clean pullback, meaning if we break below here now after this, this is going to be our true break. But we just don't want price to break like this high, because if it does, then we're going to have to reset and look for another false break altogether. But now, with this candle closing here, this is where we're at, and we're basically looking for price to now come lower. And if it comes lower, we've got a beautiful setup today. Let me put this right above coordinates, just 1 pip. Oh, that is not 1 pip. That is 1 pip. So that would like be our stop if we were to get our setup. We'll see though. We just tapped in the inside of that high right there. So it swept above, came back below, retested. And now if we get these break belows, we know price is going down. Yes, Ali Reza, that would be the correct stop loss on this true break, 1.0404. But we're almost potentially breaking higher again, which means we would reset this entire pattern. We'll see what happens. Just so you guys see how this actually looks right now, this is how this looks. So this is still in an uptrend. And you can see that's exactly why we wait for the true break. If we would have got in on the false break, people think price is breaking lower, and then look what happens, guys. So we really need to get rid of the false break and true break right now in this, because that's not, we're looking for it to reset now that price is breaking above higher here. Unless this candle flips and gives us a wick, then we'd still look for it. But if it closes above, right here right now, which it highly looks like it's going to, then we're definitely not. We're definitely looking for the pattern to reset, and it looks like that's the case. Yeah, you can see that's the case. Let's do this. So let's go back to our 15-minute chart and drag that up higher, just to keep tracking on the 15-minute. It's super important. All right, this is where we're at, guys. But it's a good sign too, because it just gathered a little bit more liquidity, and now we see some volume kicking into the downside. So, I mean, it's 1 minute liquidity, so it's not massive in my opinion, but it helps. Everything helps. Everything definitely helps. It's just kind of cool to see though, like how accurate this idea is, right? Because the false break, you get taught that over and over again. As soon as price makes that false break, it's called a change of character in other people's eyes. and they think that change of character is switching direction, and then they put their stop loss right above here, and they're like, why do we get stopped out? You know, it made a change of character. It's because it's not a change of character until it breaks 2 times in a row. Till it breaks twice in a row. On the 15-minute, might be inverting that fair value gap down there, but it's probably just trying to regain equilibrium. This is still where we live, guys. I do believe there's a correlation between gold and Euro US dollar, but just basically the US dollar part, right? Because US dollar is on the backside of both of them. So if something comes out really strong for the dollar, it can drive both euro and gold down. But that's mainly it. That's mainly the idea. It's good to see the market moving like this though, guys. We're seeing some good movements. Like price has gone up about 10 pips recently since prices like consolidated here. You know, total since we've started our New York kill zone, we've seen about a 14 pip range. I like to see that it's moving some like this. Gives me greater confidence that once we get our setup, it'll actually play out. If you guys look at the 15-minute over here, we're tapping into that supply finally. Supply and demand works if you grab liquidity before you tap into it. That's super important. Honestly, anything works if liquidity is involved. If you don't involve liquidity, it's not going to work. Everything works with liquidity and nothing works without it. Honestly, there's a good trend line strategy on the 4-hour swing trading strategy. It's a little bit discretionary, but it's trend line fake outs and it's a liquidity based strategy that Kojo Forex teaches. I mean, I used to use the swing trade and it was good, but you know, it was good because it involve liquidity. Like, I'll show you an example of how liquidity can be used on anything. Like, look, if you're trading trend lines, like this is literally how liquidity can work for trend lines. You've got this right here, and then on a trend line point, you just wait for price to sweep, and then liquidity, it just grabs liquidity. People think it's a fake out or a breakout, and then you just take price back into the trend. So liquidity can work, you know, on different strategies too. If you start to integrate liquidity into your trading, you could start to see success, but you're not going to see success when you're trying to trade trend lines like this, when you expect this to just happen, like stuff like this. You are going to lose money only. But if you try to like wait for stuff like liquidity to get grabbed, you see it grabbed trend line liquidity, it grabbed this point's liquidity, and then you wait for the reversal and price to move up. Stuff like that, that's what I mean when I say like everything works if you just integrate liquidity. Supply and demand too, same thing. Like if this wasn't grabbing all this buy side liquidity here, this supply zone would not be of any interest at all. But since it grabbed all this buy side liquidity and it's tapping into supply, now that supply zone actually makes sense. We finally got the candles to swap directions, so this is kind of where we're at now. But look guys, ever since we started tracking these candles, look at this. We've been in an uptrend this whole time. The trend never switched, not once. False broke down here, and then it gave, that false break actually gave it all the momentum it needed to continue higher. Alright, this is where we're at. I believe price will rise to 19 before reversing. Where's 19? Oh, that supply way up there. I don't know. I don't know. I think it will reverse sooner. I do. I think this whole consolidation and the price pushing up like this right now is getting a bunch of people to put their stop losses below this range down here, and I think it's going to take all of it. I don't think we're switching to go up. But if we don't get our pattern, price is just going to only continue going up. Honestly. Because our pattern is basically the first sign that price is bearish. And so until we see that sign, that indication, I mean, it very well could go up to 19. I just think it has reason to cause our pattern to form before then. Guys, if this candle closes like this, we're going to officially have a new area for our false break, which is going to be right here. I'll redraw it on. We do. You can see this is the stuff that actually makes it even more valid and more effective, because probably not a lot of people identify this because they're not looking at candle ranges. They're just kind of looking at what they see and what they think they see. This right here, price did not go lower. This low got created, right? Now if price breaks through here, that's our first break. Our first break of the two that we need for price to continue lower. Now we're not concerned about this over here, guys, just so you know. We need 2 consecutive breaks in a row. That would not be one. But if we do false break through here, and then we true break right after. This is the price for our stop loss, just so you know. And that is our false break right now, guys. This is where we're at. Keep in mind, we've got some orange folder at 10 o'clock, which should be slightly strong for the US dollar, which would help our shorts if they did set up. Alright guys, this is where we are at now. Stop would be right above here, just so you know. And the reason we want it 1 pip above is to account for spread on our cash account. Just in case, for whatever reason, price wanted to match this high. If price matched that high, we don't want to get stopped out, right? But if price starts breaking through that high, then it's like, okay, we really don't want to be in that trade anymore because it can go on forever. We don't know. If this candle closes higher here, we'll have our area for our true break. And then if price breaks below that, then we'll start selling off. Yeah, I would agree with that. That's what we've definitely been seeing the past few weeks. We've got an area for a true break, guys. We'll see if we can get it right here. Honestly, I'll put the stop loss parameter on my match trader account just so we've got it in place already. See, we still almost get a 10 pip move today, guys, because look, I mean, that if we broke down and closed below there, we'd still have a 9 pip stop. So it's just going with what price is giving us. That's if we get price to break down below there, and with this setup in particular. Now what we don't want is above here. Now we got to look for the whole thing to reset. But yeah, you made a very good point. If we do get the true break now, price has gathered everything it needs to just go straight to TP after this. Price did go up a little higher there. Just so you guys know, prop account is on standby. We got the stop loss already plugged in. We're locked in. The only thing I need to do is just fire off the trade on both sides. The cash account and the prop account. Let's make sure we're logged in. These are things you got to double check, guys, because at least once every 6 months you'll find you're not logged into your account. It's a weird thing that happens on, honestly, any platform I've traded on except MetaTrader. Even TradingView, MatchTrader, all of them. But MetaTrader, I've never had that problem with MetaTrader. Honestly, I can trade my cash account with IG straight off MetaTrader. You know, maybe one day we will. It's the same exact conditions though, same spread, same everything. So it just keeps it easier for me, especially with streaming, to have it in one place here with the stream. We might be seeing kind of what we saw last week. I'll show you guys what I'm thinking we might be seeing. Because we will move our true break there if it doesn't break up higher. And I could tell you why, because this would be a failure candle. A failure to go lower, and then if it breaks the failure candle, that's our second consecutive break in a row. And we've seen that setup play out a good amount. Now, we might be looking for the whole thing to start over, and it looks like we are. So, false break, true break, none of it matters anymore. And we are resetting this entire thing, guys. You hate to see it, but it's very, very high potential that people's stops start getting taken. Or at least if they started going short here, their stops are getting taken. Now, if we do get it to form somewhere in here now, we will keep that stop loss where it's at. But if price starts going higher and taking it, then, you know, we'll delete that too. That's why we wait. Yes, yeah, I can put a stop after I enter. The way I do it is I just do it through right here on Match Trader. You just put it in the price right here. You just kick out that stop loss thing and then put it in. Patience is everything in trading. The market will show you when it's ready to move, but until it shows you, anything can happen in between. Anything can happen in between. Like, look at this, guys. We've literally seen so many fake outs. People are trying to go short, and it just keeps trending higher. This is why you have to learn to see this picture instead of the candles. If you could see this instead of the candles, that's actually what's happening. This is actually what's happening. This is the highs and lows of the candle ranges, and this is the real chart, right? The candles are just printing, you know, in real time to form that real chart, but we have to see those points of the candles, the highs and lows. Have to. That is what we're trading. That is what we're trading. Honestly, if price would, like, this isn't how line charts would print. But if they did print this way, if we could have a chart print this way, we probably wouldn't even trade candles at all. If you get a few candle wicks under your line, do you move the line down? What do you mean, Lewis? Do you mean like on a Can you elaborate? I'm sorry. Do you mean like on the false break? Like if it has to close through or wick through, or? Yeah, Gustavo, we've got a good crowd lately. We had at one point this morning already like 60 people in here at one point. That was in the beginning though when it was slow, so some of them dropped out. But that's okay. We want everyone who's going to be patient and wait in the stream. Plus, if you've been watching, you know what you're waiting for, right? You're not waiting for no reason. This would be our officially our first false break that we're interested in. So it looks like we could be resetting this pattern without taking these highs, meaning that if we get in this trade, you know, if the pattern forms soon and we get in the trade, our stop loss is in a good spot. We rejected that fair value gap up there. Not anything I'm trading, but something to pay attention to. as we continue. So this is where we're at, guys. Still in an uptrend though. We just inverted this fair value gap, creating another one, meaning order flow is, potentially on our side to go lower. So you want to pay attention to the order flow, but you want to trade the actual breaks to get that confirmation that price is reversing, right? Because otherwise you just got price trending upwards as you're trying to short, and the market's just collecting your money for no good reason. Bro, and I haven't put out a video on the strategy yet. I've got one made. It's like almost an hour long, but it's a private video. It's not listed yet. I have not put it out yet. All right, this is where we're at, guys. Let me check really quick. Really quick, since we've got time, since we haven't even had the false break happen yet, so we'll check really quick. Look at UJ for an example that had a false break, pulled up, and wait for the true break. Oh yeah, you just basically want to track with the most recent lows. So like, you want to track with the most recent lows, or like the most recent points. So if price wicks higher, like if it wicks higher than this line and then goes, like, let's say that's just a wick and goes down, you're good for a true break. If it closes above this line though, then you want to reset the whole thing. If price starts breaking the other way, you want to reset. But if it just wicks, it's still valid. That's still a valid place to pay attention to. I hope that helped explain. If it didn't, we'll go over it. We'll take a closer look at the end. This would be our false break right now. Price had swapped directions, creating that low, and this is what we're most interested in. Now, this is not an area I'm interested in anymore. I'm only interested in what's happening right here, because that's not two consecutive breaks in a low. You could see this is lower, that's higher. Now we're just kind of looking for the collapse in price right here. So honestly, we're only looking right here. This is all we care about. Price has not given a false break. This might be an example of what you were talking about too, potentially. Price just wicked lower than the false break. That does not count. It does not count. It has to close through that low. Now we're still going to track the candles, but we haven't considered this a false break yet until a candle closes below there. Let me make sure our dang it, I didn't mean to do that. Make sure our stop loss is still in the right spot. It is. False break is happening. You guys can see it before our very eyes. False breaks happen. Now we got to wait for a true break. Oh my goodness. No, I'm kidding. Stuff like that doesn't trip me out. Price could potentially pull back after this candle too, because you can see it just took off from right here, just like a liquidity void. If price doesn't make a top wick and it opens and the high is at the same spot, guys, there is a liquidity void there, meaning price likely will have to tap it again before going lower. But it's a good indication that this trade will give us our pullback and then our true break. And then hopefully we're in our trade for the day, guys. It's the thing we've been waiting for. But like I said, we're waiting for the collapse of two in a row. 2 consecutive breaks like that. All right, let's see if we can't get price to pull back a little bit. Give us our true break formation now. If price keeps dropping lower, then we're just gonna keep waiting. If these candles go lower, we're just gonna keep tracking lower until we get the pullback in the second consecutive break. We've got all the room in the world too, guys. You guys can see. Ideally, price is sweeping these lows today. So we're not worried about getting in too quick. We get in too quick, could ruin the whole thing. But now both of these candles right here, the open and the high, there's liquidity on both of these candles. I don't know if that makes sense, but there is. So if we could create a low here, and then price can sweep those 2 candle highs, it's going to be the best setup we could have ever hoped for. So let's just hope for a pullback sooner than later, because we don't want price to just keep melting and melting and us never get our pullback. We want another low to form eventually in here. So we're gonna need the sellers to chill out for at least 1 minute, which it didn't happen yet because price just tapped lower again. This could be a bigger move than 10 pips today. It very well could be a bigger move than 10 pips today. Christmas week, we could have a bigger move than some of the past weeks. Man, I keep moving that. Alright, we just want price to pull back a little, guys. Which we have not got yet. We have not got that. This is the funniest candle. Alright, it went lower. It like didn't want to go lower. It wanted to create that low, but it did. It did go lower. There's orange folder coming out in about 26 minutes, 25 minutes. And then, yeah, I mean, we still got an hour for our setup to even appear. Let's go to the 15 minute. That way we can track along with these candles. We don't want to get into anything we shouldn't. Price went higher and then officially went lower. So, higher, then officially went lower here. That is what we're looking at. So we're still in the right spot, guys. We are still in the right spot. Probably drag that lower. We'll see though. Hopefully the next candle after could stay a little bit higher too. Maybe tap some of those tops of those candles like we were talking about. And then give us our breakdown. It's a busy Monday morning. Well, the last thing I expected. The last thing I expected. This isn't, guys, don't take this as a true break yet. I'm just trying to be prepared. I'll delete it if this candle goes lower. But if this candle stays above, then we finally have the true break low to break past. It looks like we will. So we have an area for a true break, which Now if price goes lower, which honestly it very well could, they're probably trying to get people to buy back up here at the bottom of this range instead of reversing this entire move. We've got a true break now. Let's go to the 1 minute wicks, 1 minute wicks. Stop loss way up here. So, I mean, we're in a good spot too if we're going to target the bottom of that range, right, team? So, I mean, but we could have today potentially, with what the market's giving us, a 12.5 pip move depending on where price closes. So we could have a very, very good move today. We want to zoom in though because we always want to make sure it actually closes below the true break. We're back within that buy side liquidity too, back within the range, right? We traded out of it, gathered a bunch of liquidity, and now we are back in it. Alright, you guys can see the price is going higher now again. Our second consecutive break lower would technically be here now. Off that failure candle. So we'd be looking to short if price closes below here. Failed to go lower and fake people out and then goes higher. $8.37 candle, our new true break. Yeah, it is, yeah. Yeah, it would be. It would be. So we would be shorting under this candle here. It doesn't look like it's happening. It wicked lower. It did not give the move though. Yes, guys, yeah, that's a new true break. We haven't broken higher out of this range down, right? That's why we're considering it that. over here, when price broke lower, it reversed, right? That range got reversed. This range should not get reversed. This is just like a little internal push up. So we're still locked in with this because this is technically when we would have to reset if price broke higher than here when we're going based on that range. People are probably trying to buy in here too right now. It's probably how it's setting up, and then as soon as it starts to break lower, I mean, we're locked in. But if price can break below here, this is like a failure candle. And what I mean by a failure candle is like price tried to go lower than here and it failed to. And then it like, I don't even know how to explain it. It failed the failure candle. And basically that's, why it's a true break, even though it's like kind of internal. But we're not getting any sign yet. No sign yet. That's where we're at, guys. We just need one good volume push down. But you see how these points are super important. You see how price is reacting off all of them. Yo, Jalen, we're doing good, brother. We're up 4,188 on the funded account. We have not collected a payout yet. We're gonna get it to like 60K before we do. This is where we're at. This is funded though. It's a funded 50K, and then we grew this 8K cash account to like 11K right now. We're at like 10,900. So, dude, it's good to see you. How have you been, man? Let me get ready for this trade. We're about to go short, honestly. I'm about to go short off of price failing the failure candle in here. Stop loss is going to be in that same place, guys. We are short. Stop loss, guys, I've got at 1.04096. Let me put that here. 0.04096. And I'll put my take profit on. So 12.5 pips today is like what it looks like the market's given us. And we're going to, just go 1-to-1 with that, which is like just clearing the bottom of this range, which was the idea we had all morning. Let's get that on here. Let's see exactly where our trade was for the prop account. We got in at 973. Pretty good entry. Okay. Let's drag that stop up now. Just 1 pip above this range. So where were we at? 9.6. So it's 12.5 pips on the cash account, and we're going for 12.3 pips on the prop, just based on how we entered. This is the trade though, guys. We're targeting that sell side. I think we'll get it. I think this is a good setup. Let's do this too. Let's go ahead and change these candles over to all black. That way we can kind of take out some of the noise psychologically as we get in this trade. Let me put on the take profit too for our setup. All right, we're locked in. This is the trade for the day. Hey, thanks, Jalen. Yeah, it was tough. Honestly, I felt like giving up so many times in between the last time you and I have talked and where we're at now, and finally got like a mentor over in the UK who's been helping me a good amount and teaching me. He kind of tweaked my trading in just a few ways, and it's been super beneficial. It's been super beneficial. We've been able to kind of identify when like the trend's really changing on, the trades we're taking. And we've been just super involved with liquidity. Like that's all we're trading is just liquidity, and it's been going well. It's been going well. We've been seeing good results, and I think in the last 2 weeks between myself and everyone in the community trading, I think we've taken on $250,000 in capital, I think, between all of us. So it's been super cool to see that too. I feel like, like if it's working for everyone and everyone else is able to benefit off it too, I mean, it's like all the better. So it's been cool. I think, yeah, I did the math between everyone who's been saying that they've been getting funded. I think we've been able to gather, in just a small community between like 20 and 40 people who watch, We've been able to get like a 250,000 in the last 2 weeks in funding. So I mean that's huge. That's huge. Oh yeah, the take profit's perfect today. It's perfect today. It just lines up, that 1-to-1 trade just lines up perfectly. Um, just lines up perfectly. We'll keep it like this, and then we'll kind of zoom in the 15-minute chart here. Make sure I've got everything on the prop account. You guys can see this is our prop account here. Take profit down here. Stop loss up here. For whatever reason, you can't see these unless I actually click on them. But we're in a pretty confirmed trade at this point. We're in a pretty confirmed trade. We have a high probability of hitting. We'll see if we hit though. This is the prop accounts parameters, and then you guys can see the cash account over here. Hey, yeah, I had to humble myself too. I put off, receiving help or a mentorship for so long. And you have to kind of like swallow your pride. You have to. Hey Brandon, yeah, mine does too. I'm like it's like mine's like 1.8%, I think. So we'll hang out here and watch the trade for a little bit, guys. We're not gonna stay forever. We'll probably stay till like 10:30. We've got some orange folder news coming out at 10, which is in about 10 minutes. So we'll hang out for a little bit and watch the trade together, guys. And if you guys got any questions, let me know. And we'll just kind of hang out together. But I don't know how quick or not quick it's gonna move. And I've got, some stuff I got to jump into probably after 10:30. So we'll just stay locked in with that, and then I'll probably put it up in the Telegram or anything like that afterwards if it doesn't resolve before then. I appreciate that, Johnny. Yeah, honestly, these are some of the tweaks that I've had to make too recently that have really helped take us to the next level. I've been trading for 4 years, or like 3.5, almost 4. And I guess that's not almost 4, but been trading like 3.5 years, and uh, it's just the small things that can make all the difference when it comes to your entry and when it comes to things like this. So I'm glad to hear that you've been able to benefit off it, and I'm happy to have you. Happy to have you here. Hopefully we can hit this trade on, if this is one of your first streams. Why is it pulling back? Um, it's pulling back in the downtrend, in my opinion. We're definitely in a downtrend now, though. The way price is breaking, we're definitely in a downtrend. Why is it pulling back too? Could be because people are probably trying to buy. They're gonna try to get people to put buy, like try to put stops here or down here or down here, and basically they're just like the same thing they did all the way up. They're just gonna line up people's stop losses in order to take them all, and then that's exactly where our target is, right? So that's my opinion. Now, if it holds ground in reality, we'll find out together, but we'll see. That's why pullbacks and stuff don't bother me, because I know it's just like lining up liquidity. Yeah, the retail feelings. The retail feelings. Now that we've officially broken lower and like the market showed its hand, I mean, as long as it doesn't clear this high, we're good. Like, as long as it doesn't clear this high, we're still bearish. Because we haven't taken any type of sell side liquidity to even consider a false break, true break within here to be bullish. So even if internally here now it goes something like this, it doesn't matter to me because we didn't take any, like there would have had to been like buy side liquidity right here. And like we don't have any, or I mean sell side, and we don't even have sell side until way down here. Like this has been one big impulse up, and now we broke back below in this range. We gave our pattern, and we just need the stars to align and price to drop. So we'll see. That could be the explanation. Or it could be pulling back to just go up. we'll we'll find out together. We'll find out together. That's why I switched to the black candles too now. Zero dark 30 candles. We just want price to, we don't want too much noise going on. All right, this is the first day we've implemented the safe stop, putting our stop loss in line with exactly what price is doing, which is these highs right here. So we know that our stop loss is in a safe spot. We know our take profits in the best spot, being 1-to-1 and targeting sell side. And then we're going to start tracking too. Like let's say 1-to-1 hits, we're going to see, did price actually go, further? We're going to start recording all this live data. Did price go 1-to-2? Did it go 1-to-1.5 or anything like that, So that's stuff we'll start to keep an eye on too. Ideally, our trades don't go and draw down at all much the way we've been trading, but like I will show you guys, they have quite a few times pulled back some. You can see this trade right here pulled back and then went further. This one chopped up a lot and then pulled back some and then went to take profit. This one, oh my gosh, that was the worst trade. That we shouldn't even been in that one. This one went straight. This one pulled back some and then went. That actually would have taken out the safe stop. This one went straight. And then, so you can see the idea is it doesn't pull back a whole lot, but it's possible, right? As long as it doesn't pull back past that safe spot, we're probably in a safe trade, right? When it comes to respecting what the market's doing. I will say our false break, true break this morning was a little messy. This whole pattern was kind of just choppy and messy. That's to be expected though with the holidays and stuff this week. You guys watched last week too, and it was kind of the same thing, and we were still able to pull through. So it's just trying to get clarity in something that's otherwise probably pretty distorted or confusing to watch. Yeah, I only trade Euro USD. I only trade Euro USD right now. It works on other pairs though for sure. Yeah, Gamer Cat, I agree with you 100%. It's mainly because of the holidays. You see, there's some days where it's like it just picture perfect. We'll break out of sell side liquidity, and then we'll literally see like a pattern like this, and then it's just we'll get in, and then like literally price will just go straight to take profit. Like those are the days I think we'll return to in January for sure. Hopefully we have some of them this week and next week too though. Maybe pull this out a little bit for the chat. Matthew, I think some people in the chat have been testing it out in London. I haven't personally though. So if anyone knows about how it's working in London or what pair you're using it with, maybe put that in the chat. I can assume it would work great with if you waited for the Asia range to be broken out of, and then waited for the false break, true break pattern. I can imagine that would be a fantastic setup. During the London kill zone. Yeah. If London wasn't at 3 a.m., we would be trading it. Honestly, we might trade it one day, but not right now. I need my sleep. Yeah, they would be. 24-hour trading stream. I know someone that just did that. I would not do that. As fun as that sounds, I don't think I would do that, guys. The only way I'm profitable in trading is by doing as less as possible. You guys see, we only take one trade a day. I would take one trade a session though. If I was awake for it, I would. I would do that. And the orange folder coming out in 2 minutes is supposed to be bullish for the US dollar. So, I mean, that could just take us to our sell side, but it's orange folder. It just could be like a little nudge in the right direction, but it's not massive for us. Man, if London was at 9 a.m., that would be perfect. You literally are living in the perfect time zone to trade. There's not a better time zone for you to be in to trade. You guys literally get full London and New York. I'm turning you into a chart addict, though. If that was the case, though, I felt like that would have helped my learning curve because I really have only had like New York session to work with over the last like 4 years. Don't get me wrong, I've woke up for London and I've regretted it more times than I can count. Because if you wake up at 3 a.m. and you catch 2, 3 losses in a row, now you're trying to go back to bed and you're mad. Like, it's not a good situation. And then you barely wake up for New York with like 3 hours of sleep and you don't even want to trade because you're stressed out. But look at, yeah, Matthew, we were talking about why price is pulling back up. In my opinion, it was so people put their stop losses right there. That was my opinion, and that's exactly, I think, what happened there. I'm liking these black candles, guys. I'm liking the blacked out chart like this. Let me check on our prop account, make sure it's still alive. Yeah, we're still alive, guys. We're pushing about $370 on the prop right now. Honestly, I kind of like the way this platform looks. It's not like all that bad. If it would just, honestly, the only thing I would really like change is the fact that I can't see my stop loss unless I click on this or my take profit. Which we actually might be headed for take profit soon. Let me go back to the actual chart we're looking at. Oh my gosh, what is happening? Oh, 10 o'clock. I was like, why is price doing this? I'm like, what is going on? Oh yeah, and it came out bearish for the dollar. It doesn't really matter. I don't think it's going to change this entire trend. I think though that it could, I think what that could mean though is after price sweeps the sell side liquidity, price could potentially look for buys after that. I mean, you guys see it came out bad for the dollar and price is dropping. We just saw price close the biggest down candle we've closed in this entire move so far. 5 pips down after that news came out like that. So I think we could get price to go back up though, potentially after clearing this range. There's just too many swing traders stop losses right below here right now though. Way too many. And they're probably all excited. The news came out for us. We still have hope. It's gonna turn around. We're headed for them. We're headed straight for them. Now that's gonna be like kind of embarrassing if it reverses, but we could have fun with it. I did not mean to click that on. We can have a good time. Oh, Jeff, you got E8 too? Yeah, I like it. It's not my favorite match trader, and the whole thing that you can only make 2% in one day. I'm not a big fan of that at all. But it also prevents us from trying to hit home runs and stuff. But like down the road, if we see all our trades are hitting like 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s, it's like we're gonna start taking those, and then it's gonna be a little bit weird. But for 1 to 1 right now, for what we're doing, it's perfect. And then if we, honestly, it might be safe too if we're trading 1 to 1s on the prop account and just trying to capture 2%, 2%, 2%. And then on the cash account, like let's say, let's just try to hit 1 to 2s, 1 to 3s. Not right now, but or I'm saying not for me right now, but that's like the idea. And then maybe it's like we just lock in the profits for 1 to 1 on the prop, and then we try to hit, bigger trades on the cash account. I mean, that's something we could do for sure. Yeah, Gamer Cat, I do. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you. I love it. Yes, sir. I love it. Yeah, Jeff, next year for sure, for sure. Jeff, you still taking those AJ trades? You take any last night, Sunday night? Oh, okay. I got you. Yeah, Sunday night's gonna be a little weird. Keep me posted on tomorrow's stream how tonight's trade goes. Let's track the 15-minute candles really quick too, guys. We'll have to change it back to this really quick, and then just kind of see it came down. Oh yeah, so these candles have just been going down. You can see this right here has just been tracking down. So if we go to the 1 minute, guys, and you look at the big overall picture, which is these the red push right here, the 15-minute ranges, we saw price just come up. People think we're in an uptrend, put their stop losses below here. This is yeah, I mean, it's just a fake out, right? To grab liquidity. Let's go back to these blackout candles. Yeah, let us know. Shuri, on the 50K account right now, if you don't count this trade at all, and which I personally don't count this trade at all until it's resolved, but apart from this trade, when we started this morning on the 50K funded account, we're up 8.37%. Guys, this is probably a... Oh my gosh. That's not what we want to see. Nah, it doesn't bother me too much though. Because this is just, I mean, we haven't touched that sell side liquidity yet. They're probably trying to just get a few more people to put their stops right below there. That's my opinion. We're gonna we're gonna hope it's right. But seeing a big kick up like that is it's a good scare. That's how we have to look at it, guys. It's a good scare for people. Oh, double bottom. Let's buy. And it's like now you're getting taken out too. I hope, because it'll be good for us. Um, I just let it play out. I just let it play out. I give it all the room it needs. It helps me stay consistent because I look at it from this point of view. I'm looking at all the trades for the month, and I just need to win more than I lose, right? And so if you just let them play out, yes, time to time you're going to have some sucky days, but you're going to mess things up more than you can imagine when you trade 1 to 1 and you try to move to break even, you do this, that. You have no idea how many days we could probably trail our stop. Like, let's say we would have trailed it to here. I mean, this is just a bad example, but price takes it and then goes here. All of this missing room, it would account for missing profits in our overall sample. Let's say we move it to break even. Let's say price did this and then came down. It's very possible. We don't want that to happen, but it's like then we miss a whole winning trade. Let's say that happens 3 or 4 days in a row. those are 4 days where we would have made, you know, a good amount of money. And yes, we broke even, but we broke even for no reason because the trade wouldn't have lost. So it's like when you're going for higher risk to reward, there's a lot more warrant for managing the trade and moving the stop and all that. But when you're doing 1-to-1s, the idea is just to win more than you lose and just take trade after trade and let them all play out for the month. It's super simple. Yes, some days it's not going to be the best thing in the world for you. Other days, though, it will. But overall, for the month, though, you'll see that the results end up in your favor, in my opinion, is because they haven't accepted the risk, right? I would not have got in this trade if I wasn't okay with this red zone getting filled. Now, the way I look at it, guys, is you have to think about it this way. Let's say you're risking $100. The way I look at it is I pay $100 to get in this trade. I've already lost it. That's the way I look at it. Now, if I win, I get my $100 back plus another 100 if I'm going 1-to-1. That's how you have to look at it. That will change everything for you. The moment you click enter in the trade, you lost that money. Now, when you hit TP, you get that money back plus, you know, that little bit extra. It looks like we hit on the what's it called, guys? The prop account. We'll see. The cash account didn't yet though. We did hit on the prop account, guys. So we're gonna hang out. We need to drop a little bit lower, just like a pip. But what did we say, guys? Those people that were, you know, they were scaring people into buying right there. That's exactly what we saw. That's exactly what we saw. Man, it does mess you up a little bit with the spread between the cash account and the prop account. But if you look at it too, guys, this is the same thing as last week. Like, let's say, you know, we need to go 1 pip lower. This is how I look at it and why it doesn't freak me out. Like, let's say we need to go 1 pip lower. And, like, let's say we were in the trade the other way now. Like, what are the probabilities of this happening, right? For us to lose this trade now, we would have to hit a 1-to-24, technically. Like, that's how you guys have to look at it. Now, can it happen? Anything can happen, but I think we're in a good spot. I really believe this strategy too, from looking at my previous trades. It often goes much higher risk to reward. So 1-to-1 is just always something I'm comfortable letting play out. Now, is price going to play around here? It looks like it is. Hopefully we can just get it to come down and sweep that low one more time before we go back up. But we did tap it out on the prop account, guys. So that was super important. We're at over 10% now on that account. Usually they hit at the same time. Didn't happen today. Not too worried about it. We just barely swept the sell side liquidity. But if we look at the overall picture too, guys, on the higher time frame, we broke above here. And like really though, like we're probably looking to capture all the way down here. And that's why I say like 1-to-2s, 1-to-3s eventually is something we're going to be looking for in this strategy. So I'm not too worried about this, guys. But at least we captured it on one account because we were able to make, you know, $966 there. So this is why I don't go with spread accounts over though. I try to always get the tightest spreads. And I'll pay a commission even, but they only have this one type of account with my broker, so it's just like a 1 pip spread. Hey Harris, yeah, it does so far. We're on 11 trade win streak. If you count the break even day, we made like a little bit of money, so it's like a 12 trade win streak. But not yet for the cash account. Not yet for the cash account. It did sweep sell side, so that is a little bit concerning, but not too concerning in the overall picture. I'm just not knowing how long it's going to take to get back down there now. Yeah, this is what can mess with you. This is what can mess with you, but we can't let it do that. We can't let it do that. Let me fill out the journal for the prop account though while we hang out. 55, 155, 12. Because then we could get caught in the trap of, oh, you know, it's finally time to buy, and then what happens? You know, they come and take that right where we were at anyway. We're 6 for 6 though right now on the funded account since we've got it. I think the sweet spot though eventually, like if I'm being honest, I think it's going to be 1.5R. I have a feeling about that. We're going to gather that data over time though. So I'm going to start leaving these on the chart, and then later in the day I'm going to start checking, did it go 1.5? Did it go 2R? You know, all of that. Let me see. What do we 966.28. $966.28. All right, we made 1.78% today on the prop. 1.78. We were 0.3 pips away. That is the type of stuff that will mess with you, but we're gonna hold strong, guys. We're gonna hold strong. It sucks, but we're gonna stay committed to what we came to do. Definitely sucks, but see you, Brian. See you, brother. See you. Okay, let me make sure our journal's locked in and all that. Dang. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, this stuff does bother me still. I've been trading so long to the point where it's like I don't do anything about it because I'm more concerned about the monthly results. You know what I mean? Like, yes, it sucks, but long term it's gonna, like, I know we're just constantly moving up, so I'm gonna let it play out. Like, I really mean that. Like, I really am gonna let it play out. We got into the trade that we said we were gonna get into, and they're like, the only reason we closed break even on that one trade is because we really shouldn't have been in it. But I really do let my trades play out fully, and I really mean that. So we'll let it ride. I'm just happy it hit on the funded account because no matter what, we're profitable today, right? So we already made $966 on the funded account. So no matter what, we're profitable. But yeah, that does suck. You guys can see right here that it went straight through my TP, but the spread just didn't hit. Let's see, where are we at? We're up over 10% on the funded account now. So we passed and then kind of did the same thing again to pass. We're up 10.31% on the funded account. It's tough, guys. It's tough. Water. We'll hang out until 10:30, about 13 more minutes. And I'm just gonna let it play out today, guys, and I'll update you guys either on the Telegram or tomorrow. I mean, I'll probably put this trade in the Telegram because it did hit. We did technically win today, no matter what. Like, even if price comes all the way up, our net PNL for today is positive. It would just suck to not win it on both. Yeah, I feel it will too. If you guys were in this trade, did you guys hit? Or did you get, if anyone else was in this trade, did you guys hit, or are you guys in drawdown too right now? Or not drawdown, but pulling back too? All hit? Okay, good. Good. That's good. Yeah, I still like it hitting. I still like it hitting. I do. Nice pip sniper. Alright, good. That's good. I wasn't sure because no one said anything, so I was like, dang, did we all just get missed by a pip? It's part of the game we play, guys. Chances of it happening are slim to none, but it does. Stuff like this can happen sometimes. Nice, Ol. Nice. Yeah, I don't know if it'll happen immediately, Josh. It could happen much later on. Hopefully we don't hold into the next day. Okay, yours hit too. Alright, that's good. That's good. We'll close out the stream then in 10 minutes here. And I'll just let it play out. Yeah, it's annoying, but you guys see, like, if you guys have been watching the last few weeks, we've had a situation like this happen. You know, it happened to Brandon at one point, and then what ended up happening? Price pulled back pretty much to break even, and then we saw price just go like this, like 40 pips down. So it's like, I don't know. Like, yes, it swept sell side. Yes, it's given a false break. It hasn't given a true break. So we're still in an uptrend, or I mean in a downtrend. That's like one thing that's super important. Like, we have not given a, what's it called? We've only given a false break right here. There's no true break yet. And even if there is, we're really focused on that main move, like that first move happening, setting up during New York kill zone, because we believe that's like the move that, you know, the institutions are trying to set up. So we're still in that move. The only thing though is like, it's just kind of frustrating that it didn't tap it. You know, it just sucks. It's like no matter how far you are in trading, like that's the type of stuff that'll still get to you. But yeah, we cleared that sell side. Dang it. But I'm gonna let it play out. That's probably why we'll get off to here in 8 minutes. That way we don't try to keep getting in our head about this, and there's no point. You know what I mean? There's no point. Honestly, like, what's probably gonna end up happening is we're probably gonna, talk tomorrow and be like, yeah, it hit. We stressed for no reason, or it did hit, and it's like, or it did hit stop, and then it's like we just move on to the next. Have a good Christmas, all. If I don't see you tomorrow, yeah. Yeah, honestly, it's not a bad idea, Animesh. If, the prop account gets triggered, we probably should just close like the trade manually too right there. But yeah, it's we're too far to do that now. But yeah, it's I've been trading for so long that like I don't have those like I have complete control over the urges to get in and mess with it now. You guys saw last week though the trade that we shouldn't have been in, the break even trade. Those are only the only days now where if I make like a silly mistake, I'll mess it up by closing break even or something. But once I get in a valid setup, I have no urge to mess with anything, just because I know long term it hurts. It hurts long term. But we didn't even see. I mean, we already hit take profit over here. So we saw the false break here, and now we see price kind of doing this. We could see a false break back in here. I mean, I don't think price closed lower than that. It closed right on it. If we see price collapse now in here, that could be everything we need to know that we're gonna go to take profit, because we only give a false break higher right here, which is right here. Now we don't want it to give a true break, but you know what though? I don't want to really like narrate all this, because we're letting it play out either way, and that would probably like mess with my psychology. So we're just gonna let it ride, guys. I do too, Brandon. We're definitely on the side of the higher time frame momentum too. If anything, they're just making people think it's gonna go up, but they did get a nice sell side liquidity grab. It did, but the thing is though, it happened. It wasn't the first one that happened today. The first we grabbed buy side first. We just got a false break to the downside too. I know said I wasn't gonna narrate it, but we just were there and I just watched it. So hopefully we hit TP by 10:30 and we were able to close this on a good good note. It's a good note either way. You guys hit TP. Um, we hit TP on the prop account, which we don't have drawdown rules on the cash account. Granted, we don't want to lose money at all, but it's we don't have to worry about anything getting hit. Um, so well, plus our drawdown on the prop account now is 10%, so we really don't have to worry about anything there either. Yeah, I hope you have a good Christmas too. Yeah, we're gonna be trading Christmas Eve and then the day after, so we'll get a kind of curious to hear how your guys' day went and stuff like that. We'll be able to, um, yeah, it'll be a good stream. So, do you guys have any plans? Do you guys stay home for it, or do you guys travel a lot for Christmas or New Year's? I always stay home, so I'm never like traveling or anything like that. You're gonna stay home? Yeah, I like that. Does anyone have a white Christmas? Is anyone getting snow where they're at right now? Nice guys. Yeah, that's all I'm doing too. It's gonna be a good time. Get a break from the screens, spend time with our family. It's gonna be good. It's a gray Christmas. Yes. Gray Christmas. That's so funny. Our take profit is liquidity. It's usually not how it works. Yes, definitely. Yeah, thank you for saying that, Big Tofu. I mean, that's one thing I've been learning a lot the last half of this year is, we read about blessings in the Bible all the time, but there's certain instances in the Bible and in scripture where it says blessing, singular, not plural. And we have to realize that God is the blessing, right? That Jesus is the blessing. When we seek blessing from God, you have to realize that He's going to give you Him, not necessarily a thing or a person or anything material. But when you ask God for a blessing, He'll give you a blessing, and that blessing will be Him. So I'm glad you said that. That's definitely what it's all about. Now, granted, He does bless us with certain things in our life, but the blessing is Him. If you remember, He told the Levitical priesthood, the Levites, He said, He gave them, all the other tribes, land, resources. But to the Levites, He said, I'm your inheritance. And they had the best inheritance, right? He said, you guys will inherit me. You'll have a relationship with me. You'll be able to commune with me. He is the blessing. Him, Himself, everything about Him. He is life and everything in Him. He is the blessing, 100%. 100%, yeah. You can't really explain it. It's like He was telling to Nicodemus, you don't know where the wind comes from or where it goes. He's like, but you can feel it, right? And that's what it's like to be born again. You don't know how it happened, where it came from, where it goes, but you can feel it. So it's a blessing to be able to be on here and talk about these things with you guys. And for you guys to open your hearts to this and your mind to it, even while we're just sitting here trading. It's about 10:30 right now. I will tell you guys I am kind of like watching the I'll show you guys what I'm looking at. I said I wasn't going to narrate, but I see it in my head. So I'm going to show you guys after taking, and we haven't taken a true break yet, but we've taken like this internal liquidity here and here, and like it does look like we could get our sells because this is, I'll show you guys. We've got already right here a false break, and then this would be a true break if we can get a closure below there. And you see why price is like trying not to, because it knows once it closes below here, the next place it's headed is for my take profit, and my broker doesn't want to lose money, so they're trying to make sure it doesn't. But it's gonna have to. They're gonna have to. Amen, brother. Amen. Yeah. We'll give it a second though to see if it closes below here, and if it does, we'll hang out for a little bit longer, not too much longer. But if it doesn't and then it starts breaking higher, we'll just close the stream out and we'll let it play out. While we're waiting though, I'll be right back, guys. No, it's going the wrong way. It's going the wrong way. Alright, we're going to close the stream out. Well, if it breaks high, we'll wait for one of two things to happen. If it breaks above this, we're going to simply, or right above here. If it breaks above here, we're going to close out the stream and just let it play out. If it breaks below here, we'll hang out a little bit longer because I really believe it can go to take profit shortly after if that does happen. But we've been just kind of chopping up inside of here right now. Honestly, GamerCat, I'm not going to know any good brokers for scaling small accounts because in the United States we can't really trade with CFD brokers unless it's through a prop firm. Yeah, oh my gosh. What the heck? You guys saw that? That's the type of stuff you gotta wait for those candle closes. That candle was up here and closed down here in a matter of half a second, not even a full second. I thought we were about to close out the stream. I don't know where that volume came from. I'm gonna have to set alerts and just let it play out. Oh, did you? Is Hanko Trade a CFD broker though? Yeah, we're gonna have to just close this out for the day. Let it play out, guys. We're gonna let it play out. Get rid of all this noise. I thought it was about a true breakdown, but it didn't. I'm sure they let you in the back door somehow too, though. Even if they are CFD broker, they usually do let people in the U.S. through the back door. All right, guys. I'm gonna let this play out. Let it ride to stop loss or take profit. I still think it's gonna go down. Nothing I'm too worried about, but we're not gonna keep the stream too long. If you guys have any prayer requests, we're gonna close out in prayer. If you don't have anything you want to share publicly, just pray for me, and we're gonna close out here in a minute once everyone's had some time to do that. Yeah, Jeff, that's a good idea to not put a big amount in with the CFD broker because I think some of them do let people in the U.S. through the back door, but as long as you don't try to withdraw like $1 million from them, they'll be like, "Oh, you're in the U.S." For sure, we'll pray. We'll pray for you, brother. We'll pray for everyone, the whole community. I'll give it another minute before we close out. Brandon, the same thing happened to you last week and it hit TP, so we're going to see if it does the same for me. For sure. I'll pray for you guys. All right, I'm going to close that out in prayer. And we'll let it ride, and I'll update everyone tomorrow. Or, yes, pray for everyone here in the holidays, definitely. And then we'll update it tomorrow, probably on stream. I'm just gonna post the one we hit on, on the prop account in the Telegram because, we still profited today on it. So, I'll post that, and then we'll update everyone with how the cash account one ended up playing out. Or you guys will be able to see it looking back at the chart. If price pretty much just goes lower than here, we locked in. But we're going to close out in prayer. Father, we just thank you for bringing us together. We thank you for the consistency that we've seen, not just in our trading, but in our relationship and community and the community we're building here lately. We thank you that you're involved in our conversations and that you give us the words to say that honor you and bring glory to Jesus. We just thank you for the holidays coming up, Father. Help us to keep our eyes fixed on what's important, on you coming to earth and taking on humanity, so that way we can take on your life eventually when we pass from here by dying for our sins and raising from the dead. Father, we need you. We just thank you for your involvement in our life. I just pray a blessing over every single person watching this stream right now for the holidays, for their families. And I pray that they become aware that that blessing is your presence, God. Let your presence fill their time as they spend time with their families over Christmas and the New Year, and help them to just get a nice reset before the new year so that they can have momentum going into 2025 to do the things that you've called them to. Thank you for bringing us together, and thank you for keeping us together. We love you, God, and we need you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. Merry Christmas, everyone. Happy to be here. I will keep you guys posted on if this trade goes well. But yeah, we locked in on the prop account, so we're up for the day, and banked a nice win. Hope you guys did too. Love you guys. I will see you tomorrow if you can be here. If you can't be here, have a good Christmas Eve, and